Hey grade 8s. Today what we're going to do is we're going to continue on with our shape and space unit, and we're going to look at how to calculate the volume of prisms. So I want to introduce you to one really important formula here. So I've got it kind of outlined with red here, and I want to just tell you what each of these things mean. So the V, you could probably guess, we're talking about volumes. So V here stands for volume of an object. Well, volume of an object is basically its language for how much it would take to fill it up. So we're thinking about like how much would fit inside. That's a volume. And we need some way to measure it. So in our metric system, we often talk about things being measured in centimeters cubed. So what is a centimeter cubed? It's basically just a little block size, and the block size is 1 centimeter wide, 1 centimeter long, and 1 centimeter tall. So those little blocks tell us how many fit inside. So if we said something like, oh, it's 8 centimeters cubed, it means 8 of these little blocks would fit in there, and that's how much it would take to fill it up. So volume is how much it takes to fill it up. Now here's the cool thing. We've actually got a formula here that we're going to use. So it's going to be BH. Now it's important that there's no operation explicitly stated here, so we know that if they don't tell us what operation it is, we assume that it's multiplying. So you can see it's area of the base, that's capital B, times how tall the prism is. And this works for any prism. So this formula here works for any prism. Now just a quick reminder, what is a prism? Prism basically means that its base and its top are the exact same shapes. They're parallel to each other. Everything about them is kind of perfect, and they're matched up nicely. One is right directly below the other one. So the neat thing is with a rectangular prism here, so I've drawn one out here. A rectangular prism, really you could set up any of the sides as the base. It really doesn't matter. So for example, you could use the bottom. You could say, oh, this rectangle on the bottom is the base, and then therefore the rectangle on the top would be the top. That would be more than adequate to call it. You could actually even do like the bottom here. You could say that's the base, and then therefore this one's its equal side that's kind of directly across from it. That would work too. Let's just go for the red today is my base. So the first thing I need to do is calculate what is the area of the base. Well, if I'm doing this for the red, so just we're doing this for the red piece here, what I need to do is ask myself, how do I calculate the area of that shape? Well, what shape is this? This is a rectangle. You can see here's our rectangle here. And how do I calculate the area of that shape? Well, a rectangle is length times width. So let me just write capital B here. Do I know what the length and width are? Yeah, absolutely. The length here is 5 centimeters times the width, which is 3 centimeters. So my area of the base here is 5 times 3, which is 15. Now, what's 15 what? Well, centimeters times centimeters is centimeters squared. So basically, to calculate the area, it would take 15 squares to cover up that base. And each of these squares is 1 centimeter long by 1 centimeter long. That's what a centimeter squared is. So this is pretty nice. We now know what the base is. So I can now use my formula over here to calculate the volume. The volume is just area of the base times the height. Well, in this case, my base, we just calculated, was 15 centimeters squared. The height in this case is basically how far is it from that base shape to the top. Well, you can see in this case, it's actually 2 centimeters. So my height here is 2 centimeters. So 15 times 2 is going to give me a volume of 30. And centimeters squared times centimeters is going to give me centimeters cubed. So how much would it take to fill up this shape? It would take 30 little blocks like this that are a centimeter by a centimeter by a centimeter, that are that size. That's how much it would take to fill up a box that looks like that. So this is how we calculate volumes for rectangular prisms. It's the area of the base times the height. And that's how we get the volume. Hopefully this is enough to get you going. Have a great one, grade 8.